He who fails to plan, plan to fail. Take a look at the ants. They have no ruler or commander, yet they gather and store up food for the winter. How much more we humans? Good day, everyone. My name is Charity Okoti Mrs. So I will do a video today on family budget. Okay, so I titled this video why I decided to have a family budget for year 2023. So stay tuned to the end. Okay, so I will go straight into the Bible passage. I'll be reading from Proverbs 6, verse 6 to 8. And it says, I'll be reading from NIV version. Yeah. Go to the ants, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provision in summer and gather its food at harvest. Okay, so I call this as planning. So let's quickly go straight to definition of a budget. So from the Google, I think from Google meaning now, a budget. Now, what is a budget? A budget is an estimate of income and expenditure for a set period of time. Okay, now, so what is a family budget? A family budget is a game plan for your family, Now, for your family money. Your plan identifies where and how your money comes and goes by focusing on income and expenses. Okay, now, importantly, it also reflects your family's goals and values by how you spend and also how you save. Now, okay, so today is the 20th of January 2023. So I decided to come up with a family budget for this year. After pondering over my 2022, I discovered that we didn't have plans for our finances. When I say we, I mean my husband and I. So we didn't have adequate plans for our finances. Now my husband and I are salary earners, so we have monthly income. Now, so we have a good basis for planning. That's for budget. So now, if you're watching this video, I want you to pause and reflect over your 2022. Now, just the way I did. Now, I want you to ask yourself these following questions. Did you achieve all your set goals and targets? How was your Christmas celebration like? Did you have to borrow money at any point in time to pay, let's say, your house rent, to pay your children's school fees, or even for feeding? Now, do you have any savings or investments that you're rolling over into the new year? These were the question I asked myself. And now, my response to the questions I just asked, they're as good as your guests, okay? Okay, so please, stay tuned to the end of this video as I will share with you my templates for family budget that I've designed for my family for year 2023. Okay, so now, if you are a salary earner, I want to say that's very, very good, because you have an income. And also, if you're a business person, I want to tell you that that's also good. But then you have to start paying yourself a salary, because if you don't pay yourself a salary, you might end up spending the whole of your profits. And if care is not taken, you might also end up spending your capital, and that is really bad. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so now I have to set this straight before I go straight into my my templates. Okay, so for any budget to be effective, I think the number one priority is discipline. Yeah, for you to have an effective budget, right? You really need to discipline yourself, because it is not easy to set up a budget and then you follow it. Eh? You follow it up to the end. It is not easy. So number one thing is discipline. You really need to discipline yourself. If you don't discipline yourself, you end up having a budget and not being able to fulfill that budget. And the main essence of budget is for you to have planning. So now, how do you now plan when you don't even discipline yourself? So that's the number one on my list, that you need to discipline yourself to have an effective budget. Okay, so let me take us straight to my list. So then I have 10 lists for my budget for 2023, and you can redesign it to suit your own taste. Now it depends on your income, and also your expenditure will determine how your list is going to look like. So what I'm sharing with you is just like a template that you can use it to suit your own self, your own family. So now the first on my list is tithe. We all know that tithe is fixed. It's 10% of our income. Now, okay, so I make tithe as first on my list because over the years I come to realize that when I don't pay my tithe first, and then I now go into other expenses, and I go into other expenses of the month, I come to realize that I later find it difficult to pay my tithe. So most times I roll it over to the following year, which is very, very wrong. And in that way, I'll now end up paying 2 tithes instead of 1, and which will also choke my expenses for that month. So that was why I decided to make it first, so that as soon as the money comes in, I just take out my tithes and pay it first. And now, most of us, I know most people find it difficult to pay that because they'll tell you the income won't even be sufficient for the family. And now my papa in the Lord, Bishop David Oyedepo, will always say that what 90% cannot solve, that 100% won't be able to solve it, and which is very, very correct. Because you think, okay, you're not paying your tithes, you think you're keeping the whole money because you have a lot of expenses. Trust me, what your 90% cannot solve after paying your tithe, the whole money won't be able to solve it. And then tithing comes with blessing. Look at the Bible verse about, I think, Malachi 3 verse 10, that talks about tithing. When you tithe, what you're doing, you're securing the remaining 90%. Because you see people spending money on sickness, on court cases and all that. When you tithe as Christians, you're securing the remaining 90%. I don't know if Islam, if they have such a thing, but for Christians, tithing is part of what we need to do. So tithing is very, very important. Try tithing this year and see a blessing of God upon your life. Because not only securing it, God's destroyed the devourer for your sake. That takes us to the second on my list, which is offering. I made offering second on my list because oftentimes I come to realize that on a Sunday morning, what I pay as offering is what I have left in my purse, and which is wrong, which is very, very wrong. So I decided to, once I take my salary now, I have to take a percentage of it for tithing, for offering. So I keep it aside. Now, I won't mention a particular percentage. I think it's a personal thing. So you can decide whatever percentage you want to give God as offering. It's for you to decide. So, and then it also comes with what? With blessing. So the third on my list is house rent. Okay, so before I even proceed, my list now, I did it based on, I think, 11 months. That's from January to November. December is out of it because December is always for, is a celebration month and all that. So I don't want to be incurring other expenses, saving and all that for December. So December is for celebration, So my calculation is based on 11th month. So what I'm saving now, for example, now my house rent, now I divide it into 11. So every month, January, February, I'll be taking a particular percentage from it according to the house strength. Now, for my husband and I, luckily for us, we pay our house rent in November, so that even makes it easier. And then I think our house rent is about 10% of, I think that's the, if I'm to divide it by 11, the what I'm taking out every month is about 10% of our salary. And then I think, let me say this now. When you're doing budget, right, you also need to cut down on expenses. Most of us we like living fake life. You need to, make your living as low as possible. Keep it low. We don't have to be living extravagant life, because it also depends on the type of house you're living, your house rent. For us, I think it's about 10%, yeah, of it. So it makes it even easier and stress free. Now, and so the next one, that's the fourth one now, is school fees. So for school fees as well, we did the same thing. What I just did was, we have 3 terms in a year, so I added the 3 terms together, and then I added their books together and divided it by 11 to be paying it monthly. And for my kids' school, it's even easier for us because they accept instrumental payments, so that even makes it the plan very easy for us. So now the next one is food and upkeep. So for food too, we have to eat every month. So once you get your salary, calculate, okay, how much is it? 40% of your salary. It depends on you. It depends on your family budget now for food. And then what I term upkeep is probably transport to work. If you have a car, money for fueling of your car, other things like recharge card, miscellaneous, your day-to-day expenses now as an individual. So the things I term as upkeep. So now food and upkeep, I think, is on the fifth on my list now. So you also have to take it out monthly, on a monthly basis. Now the next on my list is clothes and shoes. Now, you're working or you're a salary earner, you need to look good to work, you need to look good to your business, you need to look good, you understand? So, and then I come to realize that oftentimes we leave it for a particular month, and then we end up spending bulk of our salary. It will make it very easier if you're saving this money on a monthly basis. So it's not like for you to say, okay, I'm going to go for shopping every 6 months or 2 3 quarterly. It depends on you now, but you just have to start saving the money every month, so that when you now want to go for shopping, you don't have to rob a bank. Yeah. So the next on my list is investment. That's number 7. Investment. Yes. Now I'm gonna really stress this, because I come to realize that most people, don't have an investment plan. As the money comes in, it goes like that for food, clothing and all that. Now we are working, right? Even if you're not a salary, and even if you're a business person, you need to have an investment. You need to have a certain amount of money saved for investment. And now we tend to mix up investment with savings. Savings is different. You save to buy a car, you save to pay house rent, you save to pay school fees, you save to do other things. But investment is not money that you save to spend. Now, your investment is actually money you're saving. Let me give an example. You say, let's say it's usually 20%. Now it could be 15, but it's usually 20, and it's good you make it that way, so that you're able to save enough money. Now you can save, let's say you save from January to December 20% of your salary, or your income. Now by December, you can decide to roll that money over, right, over to the next year, and you can decide to fix it. You can decide to get the land. Those are investments. You're not investing to buy a car. A car is not an investment. Car is luxury. But it's not investment. It's money that you're saving for a longer project. Maybe house, maybe car, for your retirement. You understand? You don't just wait for rely on your pension. You also need to pay yourself something, invest something. Yeah. So that's why the rich are better than the poor, because they invest a lot, and which is good. You don't have to invest chunk of your money, because in the end you end up spending it. So you have to keep it low. Let's say 20% or even 15. You can even make it 18. Depends on your expenses. Yeah. So the next on my list is vacation. Yes, I think as Nigerians, we don't really have this culture. A lot of us, we don't really, give ourselves the straight. But I feel it's very, very important. You're working very hard. Even if you're a business person, you're really working hard, and then you need to take care of yourself. Like for those of us that are working, we have what is called annual leave. Now, during your annual leave, now you're supposed to take yourself out for a treat. You can have to just go to a hotel to lodge yourself. So now when you now want to do that eventually, maybe during your leave, you don't have to rob a bank to do that. Now you already have money set aside every month. So by the time you want to go for your vacation, you just go there and then you get your money. Then it's stress free. Don't put yourself under any pressure. So that's on vacation. So the next on my leave is given to our parents. For those of us that our parents are still alive, I want to say this. I think it's very important we take care of our parents. Yes, send them money monthly for their upkeep. Me, I tell mine as allowance. It's very, very good, and it also comes with blessing. Yeah, we need to really take care of our parents. So make it as a duty every month, and you see the blessing that comes with that. So the last on my list is giving to men of God. Yeah, so I think for winners, I'm a winner member, Living Faith Church. We have what is called prophet offering. So now it's usually I think once in a year. So but even if you want to make it monthly or you want to make it yearly or even twice in a month in a year, but it's important that you start saving it every month. So by the time you're doing it, it won't be choking choking rather, because you have it saved up. So you just go there and just take it. So these are the 10 lists that I came up as a family budget for my family. So you can redesign it to suit your income and also your expenses. Now, and I hope this is helpful. So in conclusion, I want to bring us back to the illustration I made earlier with ants. Now, ants, they don't have commander, they don't have ruler, yet they store up food for winter. They plan their life. Let's learn from the ants. Let's learn to plan our life. And I pray that as we do that this year, we'll have a fruitful 2023. So in this note, I want to say bye and thanks for watching. Bye. And if you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like so that others can have access to the video. Thank you. Bye.